Okay, so you have an agency or a service-based business. You're overloaded, your team is booked out, you're spending way too much time on client support, you're spending way too much time in the weeds. Onboarding docs, offboarding docs, contracts, like all the stuff that weighs us down. And you still have to deliver, right? You have to do all the stuff for your clients that they're paying you the big bucks to do. And you're wondering, what if I built some custom GPTs? Or I have a friend who has an agency and they're using AI and it seems like it's working for them. How can I make it work for me? Well, my friend, in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how to make it work for you. Nowadays, when people own an agency or a service-based business, they're able to scale it if they use AI right. So let me give you a real life example. I have a client who runs a marketing agency for attorneys, and we built 4 custom GPTs for her. Now, her GPTs actually do double duty for her. She uses them internally for the work that she and her team perform for her clients, and she has also packaged them for her course students to use as well. So they're working double hard for her and making her like double the money. But here's what's so interesting about this is she had a team of project managers, copywriters, program creators, and they were taking a couple of weeks to onboard a client, get that first report done, get all the research and all that stuff together, right? But what happened is the minute we built those 4 GPTs for her, she was able to reduce the number of people she had working for her, saving her more than $5,000 a month. So now it's faster and it's less overhead. Okay, so you see where I'm going with this. So let's dive into some of the GPTs, like low-hanging fruit GPTs that you could be building into your agency and your service-based work today to make things so much faster. Because again, scalability without the burnout is the goal of every agency, right? So I'm going to go through a few GPTs with you here that I believe every agency and service-based provider should be using. So first and foremost, I'm sure you've heard of this, and maybe you haven't felt like it was an income producing activity enough to actually spend time and schedule it in to do it. But really, one of the things that costs you the most money as an agency owner or service-based expert is when you have to train new people. And so if you have not started to figure out a way where you can create a system, a fast, legit system to create your SOPs, it's time to build a GPT that'll do that for you. It is very easy to do. All you need to do is take some recordings of the SOPs, drop them into ChatGPT, ask it to create you an outline, and then use that outline to create a GPT so that you have a standardized methodology. You can actually build the GPT and then have your VA create the SOPs for you. That way you can keep them all organized in a nice place. And so anytime you have turnover, anytime that you onboard somebody new, you have a system and you have all the SOPs and you haven't spent a small lifetime to create them. And you know, from an operational standpoint, having an internal SOP GPT that you can quickly spin up new SOPs, like this is where when your team is like involved in these long conversations or asking you the same questions over and over again via Slack, they need an SOP for that. And if you can take 5 minutes to record a quick training, a quick lesson, hand it to your VA or just drop it into a GPT that turns it into an SOP and then direct your team to the SOP, it's going to save you so much time. And while that doesn't necessarily make you more money in the immediate, it's going to make you a ton of money in the long run, because every moment saved is a moment that you can either onboard a new client, think of a new idea, spend some time with your family, do all the things, right? The biggest thing that AI does for us, in my opinion, is save us time. That's the commodity that we need more of. You can't produce more time. You've got a set amount. You can get more money, you can make more money, but time is hard. And if you are spending an extra hour every day just answering questions in Slack for your team, trust me when I say that you are losing money. Okay, and here's a little hot tip that I want to give you when you and your team are working in ChatGPT. If you are allowing your team to use their own ChatGPT accounts to work on your client stuff, stop right now. You need to get a team account for your ChatGPT because number one, you have a security leak if you're allowing your team to do work and you don't have any oversight over that work if they're using their own ChatGPT accounts. Plus, then you build the GPTs into that team account that your whole team has access to, and then you have the ability to reduce somebody if they leave your team, add people, but you then have a full view of everything that everybody's working on, and they're all using the same GPTs. Keep in mind, your team needs to be under your umbrella, and it's very important that you maintain control over the information and the safety and the security of the information of your clients. So I highly recommend that as you start to build these GPTs out and you've got different team members using it, you put them all under one umbrella and you have a ChatGPT team account. So this next one I want to talk about is the one that I don't think enough people are using to their advantage. And let me give you a scenario. I once hired a copywriter. She's great. But let me tell you, the form that I needed to fill out and then the work that she needed to do after I submitted the form took tons of time and energy. And I think that if you do client onboarding, if you're having them fill out some long ass form, right? And then you have to take all that and put it into your template and figure out how to create the report and prepare for an onboarding call or an intensive, you are wasting valuable time. You could do 20% of that and let a GPT do 80% of that. And all the GPT needs to do is know what the questions are, know what the format of the report is, and create a consistent output for you every single time based on your proprietary frameworks and methodologies, right? And so not only are you going to be able to save yourself time in the long run doing that back-end prep work, you can also shorten the amount of time for your client and shorten the form that they need to fill out, because the GPTs and the AI knows so much of all of that now that they could give you a fraction of the information and you can let the GPT fill in the gaps. Now I know a lot of people will say to me, oh, I want my clients to do the hard work. And it's like, to that I always say, why? Why do you want your clients to do the hard work? Why can't you make it easier for them? They're paying you to make it easier for them. They're paying you for the results. So make it easy for them, but also make it easy for you by creating some sort of an internal onboarding or intensive GPT that takes all of that really focused time that you need to spend trying to analyze what they're thinking and helps you get to 80% of the way. Then you can spend an extra 20% of the time taking it to 100% or polishing it up so that you're ready to meet with them. This also works really well for information that you gather from an intensive, and then you feed all that back into an intensive or an onboarding GPT and let it update the report for you. And just imagine how much time that's going to save you. Instead of you having to set aside a day to write, a very extensive report, sometimes even multiple days, now you're setting aside a couple of hours to review what a GPT has given you. And again, keep in mind, these GPTs are trained on your proprietary methodologies, the way that you view the work, your mission, your voice, right? And so it's all geared to help you save time. I think that these first two GPTs that I've talked to you about so far are a winner. If you turned around and built these this week, you are going to save yourself so much time, and your team is going to thank you. Okay, so depending on the type of agency or service that you provide, you may find that every month at the end of the month, you may need to do some sort of a report that shows the clients why they should keep paying you for your work, right? And so this is key to being able to drop in some metrics, drop in data, drop in whatever that you have crafted or collected throughout the month, and let a GPT create a simple one-page report for you that then you can deliver to the client with their invoice and it's ready to go so that they want to keep paying you. This is going to save you a ton of time because we all know that that end of month work can be a real drain, especially when you're having to deal with a lot of metrics or data. And if you can figure out a way to just pull some information, drop it into a GPT and have it write up a report for you that's going to be in layman's terms for your client, by far, you're going to keep your retention of clients up. And those people are also going to refer you out to their friends and colleagues and whatnot who may also be looking for somebody that offers the same types of services as you. The other thing you can do is create a GPT that helps task manage, right? So let's say you have a meeting with your team once a week or once a month, and it's a big review of all of your projects and tasks. And then let's say you use Fathom and you've got all your notes and everything. That's great, except there's still a lot of like hunting and pecking and fishing to do, right? So what if you could just take that transcript and drop it into a GPT that organizes it and then prepares it so that it can be put into your project management tool, so that it can be tasked out to your VA and whatnot. But it's going to save you a ton of time. Okay, so I've given you several very specific GPTs in this conversation, but what I want to leave you with is this notion of add-on GPTs. And those are for the specific tasks that you have yourself or very specific team members doing for research, for social media, for speaking, for podcasting, for whatever type of agency you're running, for SEO, right? You can create what I would call an add-on GPT that takes information about your client, and then all you do is continue to feed the same information into a GPT, ask it for new speaker ideas, social media ideas, launch ideas, email ideas, etc., etc. A lot of the GPTs that you build into your agency are going to be very foundational to that internal work that you are doing. But once you build those foundational GPTs, you're going to have the bug. And these add-on GPTs are really going to help you maximize some of the nooks and crannies where you might be seeing like team time leakage, right? Or you're just you're thinking like, I feel like we need another team member for that. Let me build a GPT for it first and see if this team member or if myself or somebody else can just use a GPT to get that process started. Because as we move forward into AI, into where GPTs and automation are going, you're going to find that there's more and more use cases. Now, there are pros and cons. I got to say, like, it is a little bit hard knowing that you may need to reduce your team. But in the long run, if you're thinking about the success of your clients and the bottom line of your business and your time, brain, energy, burnout management, this is ultimately where you're going to want to go. So I really want to encourage you to take advantage of these for your internal use, and you are going to save a ton of time. Now, before you go, couple things. Hit the subscribe button, give this video a like, and down below there is a link to my 75 plus ways to use custom GPTs to make you more money. It's a free guide and it's going to help you. You can sift through it and find the category that it most aligns to your agency. Download it and think of some new ideas and ways. And then carve out time this coming week to start building GPTs. And if you are ready and need support building your custom GPTs, I want to encourage you to click the link below and learn about my AI for Income Accelerator. This is my program where you get the hands-on coaching, feedback from me on what you are building. You get my strategy, my implementation system, and a way to build GPTs that are stable, safe, and consistent that you and your team are going to be able to use. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day. Take care.